You're listening to WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. The Deep Center, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, was founded in 2008 to address the detrimental effects of poverty on literacy in Savannah. During its first year, Deep hosted free writing workshops for 24 kids from 2 local public schools and published 1 anthology. Since then, nearly 2,450 kids have each enjoyed a fully funded scholarship to our 3-month-long writing program and have been published in a book. More information is available at deepkids.org. You're listening to Music Local and Sustainable, and I'm your host, Dave Lake. Tonight, we are talking with Britt Scott, joined by guitarist Ethan Stewart. Would you like to do another song?
Sure. This song, first time I played this at Savannah singer-songwriter, I was super nervous, my very first one, which is very weird because I don't get nervous usually when I play on stage with bands, but something about this, being up there in the chair, everyone's quiet, I was like, I got this, but as soon as it was my turn, I got so nervous, and all I said about this song was, this song's about my cat. And everybody started laughing. And I was like, no. And then I got all embarrassed and red. It is about my cat, but as many of us will find as we get older and we have pets, there comes a time where their health is not the best. And we have to make that decision whether it's time to put them down or not, unfortunately. And as an adult, this was something I had to deal with. My cat was very, very sick. Before I had to go take him to the vet, I sat down and played this. This kind of came out, like I just wrote it. Sort of a plea, like, why do I have to make this decision? Why can't nature take hold of it and just make it for me? But it's not the way it works. To decide who lives, who dies. I don't want to see through the grim reaper's eyes. Can't sleep, can't cry, just close your eyes. Pray you'll make it through the night. Fall on your knees, please, please don't plead. It'll only take a moment, oh you'll see. Why must I be the one who's guilty? Come on, Mother Nature, watch it do it for me. I believe love would save, but it's love that's killing you today. And I don't want to deal the hand that God played. Well, I know either way, the end will come eventually. But if it's a mistake, it's the one I made. Fall on your knees, please, please don't plead. It'll only take a moment.
What's your philosophy about introducing songs? If you had not introduced that by saying it's about my cat, it could have a very, very different meaning, a much more harsh sense of violence. With a badass chick, you sing that one.
Right.
And no one will mess around with you.
That's true. I'm not going to tell anyone it's about my cat ever again.
But getting back to the issue of introducing songs, what goes through your mind when you're introducing a song? How much do you say? How much you don't say? Do you follow it up with something?
I guess it depends on the show and the scenario. With a singer-songwriter series, I think because you're showcasing the songwriting, that I love to hear people explain little tidbits about the songs. I was joking about myself because that was the first one I played, so I was nervous. So I said that, and I was like, that doesn't work. That's not the reaction I want. So usually what I try to do now is think of not just, this is what this is about, kind of statement. Maybe more of the inspiration behind it, why I wrote it, or where I was, what I was listening to, or describe something about it that you may not necessarily get from just hearing the song. But now that you point that out, I mean, I guess it is very nice to sort of let the audience to determine for themselves what it's about for them. Usually I don't want to say anything, and I probably shouldn't sometimes. But sometimes it's nice to have a little verbal segue, especially when you're playing with a band or with other people, if they need time to tune their instruments or change things up. I don't really like dead space in sets. It makes me feel awkward. It makes me feel awkward as an audience member when I watch shows like that. So I try to plan it out, at least know, all right, well, if I'm fronting the band, this is when I'm going to say something to the audience. Well, you guys do this. So sometimes I'll decide on a certain song coming after that so I can talk about something or introduce it. But I guess not to give away too much information when you're introducing a song, but just enough to where people have a general idea, and it sort of gets them in the mental headspace for where you're going to take them.
You mentioned your father, successful musician. How much do you think that influenced you eventually going into music? Is it the genes? Is it the influence? And does he have influence over your performing?
I think he has a big influence. Both of my parents do. My mom, she recently started making art. All of her art is around the house. So they're both very creative, and more than that, as parents, they were very encouraging of anything that I said I wanted to try or do. They made happen. When I was 9, I said, I want to take tap dance. So I took tap dance. But they weren't like stage parents either, so if I wasn't really into it, they didn't ever pressure me. I was also very self-driven, so they just kind of went along with whatever was happening. But I will definitely give them a lot of credit for being just very open, like gave me a karaoke machine as a kid, like when the cassette one, the double cassette one, where you could record over, like you had two sides, you could record on a cassette and then sing along with something. I had a lot of fun with that. Made tons of mixtape cassettes. That definitely was a big influence. I think being around my dad, always being in bands, he was doing that professionally full time until my mom got pregnant with me. Try not to feel bad, but that's why he ended up going back to school and getting a job. He works for an audiovisual company, designing sound system. He plays part-time right now. So that's still, he's an audiophile and is way into recording as well as mixing. And so I get help with that and hear about that a lot. I think that definitely has encouraged me. I wouldn't have the resources and the equipment that I have without him. He has access to that and is very knowledgeable about it and helps me figure out things that I should buy that fit my needs. Like as far as even the PA system I use, he pointed out like logical things that I wouldn't think about because I had never done this before, where he was like, well, you want to be able to lift it yourself. So, because you're going to have to do that whether you want to or not at times. And he was right. And so I got the QSCs that are a little bit smaller. So that way if I need to, I can do it all by myself. This goes back to the power thing as well. Like, just, not that you need to do it by yourself, but if you can, if you have to, that is ideal. But also just musically, growing up, like, all of his friends would be around, they would practice. I guess they said that they would have band practice in the living room, and I would be sleeping as a baby, like, straight through it in the next room. And I remember I would wake up when he'd come home from gigs at like 2 a.m, and he would always eat a bowl of cereal after the gigs, which I still kind of do. Actually, every time, it's perfect snack. Otherwise, I'll go to Parker's, and that's bad. I would get up and I wouldn't say a word and just sit next to him while he ate his cereal and then go back to bed. So I think about that every time I'm done playing a gig and I eat my bowl of cereal. And then also I wasn't allowed to wake him up the next day until afternoon. Noontime was the time, and I didn't understand as a child why. And now I definitely understand why. Please don't wake me up before noon after I play. He's very influential. I mean, some of those demos I first started making, and his feedback and my mom's feedback and their encouragement kept me doing it, because I definitely respect their opinions. My mom has a different way of looking at it because she's not a musician, but her feedback has been just as important because that's who's going to listen to my music. Now I play with him. When he comes down here, he plays drums with me, and when I go up to, he's in Virginia, up there, I'll play with him. I'll sit in with whatever band he's playing with. We're working on some recordings as well, some of those demos I was talking about from GarageBand, and he took some of those, is re-recording them and producing the songs to where he's getting his friends to play them live. So it's like, I couldn't believe it when I heard some of the songs, how it changed from me with the keyboard plucking things out to hear, I'm like, it's a real song. Wow, cool. Or he would like change the rhythm a little bit, and it just kind of takes it to a different level. Definitely. So I was saying he's a big influence. Both of them are. My aunt also is a professional opera singer for a long time, so she as well, just kind of being around music, it always rubs off on you. I mean, we didn't ever sit around, we weren't that family that sat around during the holidays and played jams or anything, but being comfortable, and like, even when I was 16, I would go with my mom to see my dad play at bars, and I don't know why they'd let me in, but they would, and me and my girlfriends would go, and we'd get up on stage and sing with them, horribly probably, but all my friends in high school, because I went to that performing arts school, were singers as well, so a lot of times we would go out and feel cool, but singing some rock and roll instead of our music theater at the time. But yes, it's definitely an influence. It still is, and probably will forever be.
So music in your jeans.
Yes, sure.
Well, in your case, there would be black jeans, but not black jeans. Just you have to keep the image. Mm-hmm. Whenever you go out, you have to keep the image. Do you have another song?
What should we do?
What do you want to do?
Should we call Craig over here?
He'll get his chance.
I think that's true. You know, I might play Silence. I don't know. Or we can do The Reason. Is that... Oh. There's The Reason, and then and then there's the one.
Let's do The Reason.
Okay. Consult with my associate. See, I like to hear outside perspective. It helps me.
It's a good song.
Here.
Guitar change.
Where's my guitar tech?
Doesn't exist yet. What capo? I mean, what fret?
3.
3, okay. Oh.
So this is the Taylor that was the really first of your personal guitars.
True.
That you didn't borrow from other people.
True. But yes, now I'm going to play the Taylor. I know I'm not the guy you can't deny this feeling inside between you and I, growing over time. You can see it in my eyes, believing if we are bound by destiny, future we shall see what the seasons bring in. I will set you free if you come back to me. True love must be the reason, all the reason. I am the type of girl to let you see the world and live out everything you're dreaming. I'll be there by your side, in reality or mine, hoping you will find your meaning. We are bound by destiny, the future we shall see what the seasons bring in. I will set you free if you come back to me. True love must be the reason, all the reason. Be my reason. You told me not to fall in love with you, but it's too late, 'cause I already do, and it doesn't really matter if you feel the same way too, 'cause I'm leaving, you're leaving. But at least we have here and now. I'd rather be your friend than your ex anyhow, and tomorrow I'll be sad but happy for these feelings. We are bound by destiny, the future we shall see what the seasons bring in. I will set you free if you come
Thank you so very much. I've really enjoyed talking with you, Britt, and really have loved the support that Ethan Stewart brings to the band here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
We have fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me.
It's an honor.
This has been another edition of Music Local and Sustainable, and I've been your host, Dave Lake. Save this time for another show next week.
Well, I know we ain't headed for the Hall of Fame. Gonna give it what we got, man, that ain't no shame. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2.